So Hillary Clinton wanted to testify in public. She requested a public hearing if she was going to be forced to testify in the House Oversight Committee's investigation, but GOP chairman refused. Oh, Comer said, no, can't do it. We got to be able to do some spin. We got to spin back here. Can't do it. This is by Annie Carney, New York Times. So former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton briefly halted her closed-door testimony before the House Oversight Committee on Thursday afternoon after learning that a Republican attendee had leaked an image from inside the deposition, prompting an eruption in the room as her lawyers vociferously objected. Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado shared a photograph of Ms. Clinton answering questions, which was posted on social media by Benny Johnson, a right-wing podcaster. Mrs. Clinton's attorneys immediately asked to pause the proceedings, noting that the former Secretary of State had been denied her request for a public hearing. The deposition resumed about 30 minutes later. The disruption came after a defiant opening statement from Mrs. Clinton, who decried the House Republicans for forcing her to participate in the investigation into the convicted schmex offender Jeffrey Epstein and accused them of using her as a prop in partisan political theater. Yeah, that's about right. You have compelled me to testify, fully aware that I have no knowledge that would assist your investigation, in order to distract attention from President Trump's actions and to cover them up despite legitimate calls for answers, she said, according to a copy of her statement provided in advance. She continued, you have made little effort to call the people who show up most prominently in the Epstein files, she added, noting that not a single Republican had attended a closed-door session last week in Ohio to depose Leslie Wexner, the retail billionaire and prolific donor to GOP candidates. Representatives Suhas Subramaniam, Democrat of Virginia, said the first hour of the deposition before interruption had been an embarrassment to Republicans, turning up nothing of significance. Secretary Clinton is puzzled as to why she's here answering questions. I'm trying to figure out what else to ask her. She doesn't know much. He said that Republicans had grilled her about Mr. Epstein's involvement in raising money for the Clinton Global Initiative, but Mrs. Clinton was a senator during those years when her husband, former President Bill Clinton, was starting his foundation, and she told the committee she had not been involved. Speaking to reporters ahead of the deposition, Representative James Comer, Kentucky, Republican chairman of the Oversight Committee, appeared defensive about why the panel was investigating Mrs. Clinton, a Democrat who said she's never once met or spoken to Jeffrey Epstein, who died in prison in 2019. Mr. Comer noted the Democrats on the committee had voted to hold both Clintons in contempt of Congress if they did not appear to testify. He also reiterated that his claim of Hillary Clinton was of interest to the committee because Ms. Maxwell, a longtime companion of Epstein, attended her daughter Chelsea Clinton's wedding. That's it. But we have credible allegations against the president that he actually raped a girl when she was 13 years old. I mean, there's more than that. But no, they don't want to talk about that because the president is a criminal and he needs to be investigated and, if found guilty, imprisoned after he's impeached and removed from office. So some Democrats on the Oversight Committee were careful not to criticize Republicans on the panel for investigating the Clintons, saying that they were so happy that they were happy to question anyone who might have knowledge of Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell's crimes. Others were more blunt. There is no indication, zip, zero, zilch, nada, that Secretary Clinton had any knowledge of Epstein's crimes, said Representatives James Walkinshaw, Democrat of Virginia. My fear is that we're here today as part of a political exercise, part of a long-running fever dream where Republicans want to lock up Secretary Clinton. In her opening comments, Mrs. Clinton said that she had never met Epstein and knew nothing of his criminal activities. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein, she said, according to her prepared statement. I never flew on his plane or visited his island, home, or offices. I have nothing to add to that. Mr. Clinton is slated to testify on Friday. Not one Republican went to the deposition. So it's kind of hard to make them seem like they're acting in good faith now by wanting to question the Clintons. And if we can question the Clintons, we can question the Trumps. Yeah, we sure the fuck can. We sure the fuck can. And we sure the fuck better. We sure the fuck better. I don't know why articles of impeachment aren't being drafted all over the fucking chambers right now. So, World Economic Forum Chief Borge Brende said that he would resign after an independent investigation by their group into his ties to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Bob Kerrey, the former U.S. Senator from Nebraska, has resigned from the board of a clean energy startup in the state after documents released by the Department of Justice indicated that Kerrey and Epstein had met and corresponded over email over more than a decade ago. Lawrence Summers, Harvard University economist and school's former president, will resign from teaching at the end of the academic year. Hillary Clinton, she's being questioned. Richard Axel, Nobel Prize winning scientist and professor, announced that he was resigning as co-director of a flagship neuroscience institute at Columbia University because of his friendship with Epstein. We all know about Peter Mandelson. So, what about Trump? What about Nutlick? He can't stand. What about Bannon? Well, he's not in government. Or though, is he? Jared Kushner. They're all involved.